This is Lama Tantrapa. Thank you so much for joining me for this video today. And today I wanted to share with you about the amazing tradition of Shambhala warriors. You might have heard of Shambhala warriors if you read any books by Tantrapa. You might have heard from some other sources. It's a well-known tradition that existed in Tibet for centuries, maybe even millennia. It's very ancient, but at the same time, it also has a lot of modern applications. This tradition included martial arts, but it also included healing practices, included meditation practices, and included practices for self-realization. Now, obviously, Shambhala warriors who were committed to making sure that the Shambhala, that legendary kingdom in the middle of Tibet, was well protected. And in order to be able to protect anything, they needed to be very strong, especially if you consider that they were living at very high elevation on the Tibetan plateau. So there's not as much oxygen out there. They had to have very good endurance and strength. So how did they develop such endurance and strength? How did they develop such abilities to put their skills to good use in such harsh environments? And in general, how did they build the skills that they had? Well, I'm here to share with you something about the tradition and the practice that I call harmonious strength training. By harmonious strength training, I mean it is not compartmentalizing different parts of the body and just training them, but actually working with the entire organism. It's harmonious also because it allows you to build both strength and endurance at the same time, or in one sitting, which is unusual, almost unheard of in pretty much any fitness training methods. There is very few, if any, fitness disciplines that actually enable you to develop strength and endurance. Maybe rock climbing. And there is also another aspect of harmonious strength training. It harmonizes mind and body. That's right. It's not only for physical strength, it's also something that improves your inner strength. By inner strength, I mean it actually enables you to integrate your physical abilities with your mental faculties. If you're in a harmonious state of mind, you also can benefit more from harmonious strength training. But at the same time, many people can experience harmonious state of mind by meditating or doing some visualization practices, but then they get off the cushion and move on with their days. And guess what? If they don't move in a harmonious manner, they backslide into disharmonious state of mind because you are the way you move. So if you move disharmoniously, it's very likely that you also will be disharmonious in your other faculties. That's exactly where harmonious strength training also allows you to achieve that greater harmony and maintain that harmonious state of mind, because you develop harmonious cultural movement. By harmonious cultural movement, I mean not just a number of moves or certain routines or forms. I'm talking about the cultural movement that can be integrated into your sense of identity and then applied to everything you do in your life. Quite literally, every step you take on earth becomes more harmonized. You become more grounded, you become more centered, you become more present. You also develop greater mindfulness and precision and gracefulness at the same time as you also become stronger and experience a greater range of motion and flexibility. So there are a lot of pros and very few cons, if any, to harmonious strength training. Somebody asked me, well, how does it work in terms of physiology? And I said, it works superbly, because one of the aspects of harmonious strength training is also the ability to synchronize physical actions or activities with the physiological processes, starting with breathing. Obviously, breathing is the most obvious, most apparent physiological function. As you breathe, you may or may not synchronize the breathing with movements. And those movements that don't synchronize with breathing often impede the physiological functioning of your body. So it's actually making it more difficult for your body to breathe or to function in some other ways. What we learn is how to synchronize the physical actions with the breath and with other physiological functions so that they would go hand in hand or work in concert. That, again, creates greater harmony in your body and in your entire being. And obviously, our entire being consists of not only our physical body and our mind. What else is there? Well, we know that everything is made of energy in this universe. And we are energy beings. And that's exactly what Shambhala warriors also learn and practice. Energy awareness, associated with strength training, associated with all the mental practices and meditations. They literally practice the energy art, the art of Qigong. We call it Qidao nowadays. This is the practice that enables you to develop greater awareness of energy flowing through your body and around it, applying this energy to certain actions that you want to achieve, learn how to feel that flow, and learn how to choose whether to struggle or to be in the flow. And of course, it's not black and white, so there are always all kinds of gray areas or different options that you will learn to entertain. Based on what? Not based on some dogma, but rather based on the principles of discernment that you also develop as you practice with me. That's right. I'm going to practice with you if you are willing to practice with me. I would love to invite you to practice with me on a regular basis. For the next 3 months, I'm going to do weekly training sessions, during which we will be exploring the principles of harmonious strength training, learn their applications, and actually practice together. We will learn how to do this for ourselves so we don't have to rely on anybody else. We don't have to go to any gym. We don't have to buy any equipment, not even Bowflex. We don't even need any weights. Most people can't even fathom that it's possible to do any strength training without lifting weights. Well, we don't need any weights because we can provide ourselves all the resistance that we need. How? Very easily. Just like those Shambhala warriors living in the high plateaus of Tibet. Just like Shaolin monks living in Shaolin monasteries and places like that. They didn't have gyms, but they were extraordinarily strong and fit. How did they achieve that? They achieved that by using the principles of self-resistance that I'm going to be introducing to you. And to give you a little bit of taste of those, let me just suggest imagining for a moment that you can squeeze a ball, like a medicine ball. When you're squeezing the ball, obviously you're pretending that there is a ball between your hands. But when you are putting a significant amount of effort into squeezing this imaginary ball, what happens? You are engaging muscles antagonists. In this case, you're engaging the pecs and trapezius, or traps for short. When you do this, this would be called the isometric exercise. But that's not what we're going to be practicing. Isometric exercise, as the name implies, is static. You are tensing up, but you're not going anywhere. We will be moving, as a matter of fact, we'll be moving through a full range of motion. What I mean by that is this. When you are squeezing this imaginary medicine ball, or energy ball, if you will, then we are also going to move it in a circular manner. And circular movements, obviously, are one of the aspects of harmonious culture or movement. Our circular, non-stop movements are a lot more likely to facilitate a sense of harmony in your body and in your mind, because they are not jerky, there is not start-stop action, which also is very ineffective, because every time you start a movement and then you stop it, you actually spend twice as much energy than you thought you would, because it takes just as much energy to stop the movement as it takes to initiate it. So instead of start-stop movements, just like, for example, people do in a lot of martial arts, such as karate, for instance. Instead of doing this, we learn how to move with circular, non-stop movements. This culture movement obviously translates to movements of all different parts of the body, not only arms and legs in the form of kicks and punches. We can move anything, even the head. For example, if I engage the muscles of my neck and I move my head in a circular manner, the muscles of the front of the neck work against those in the back of the neck. Muscles of the right side work against the left side muscles. And all of these muscles are working in such a manner that they actually provide each other a reasonable amount of resistance. How much resistance to apply or to use, I'm going to teach you and help you fine-tune that sense of self-resistance, which is a really amazing thing to do. You actually will be able to learn how to gauge your level of self-resistance and then use a very precise level of that resistance, and you can also adjust it over the course of the exercise. You can fine-tune it, tune it up, tune it down as you need. For example, you can begin with more resistance in the beginning of the exercise, or I like to call them explorations, because they're not just a routine of moves. They're actually explorations of your range of movement and also how much endurance and strength you may gain through doing this. Now, what's interesting about it is that your muscles will get tired. They will eventually feel like they burn up all the ATP, the energy resources stored in the muscles. And then they will need some oxygen. That's why you will have to transition from an anaerobic regime to the aerobic regime of exercise. Now, most people hardly ever combine these two in one and the same sitting. They either work out on strength, and that's when they do anaerobic exercises, lifting weights or using heavy equipment. Or they do aerobic exercises, whether it's aerobics or some kickboxing or other cardio exercises, running or doing whatever. That basically requires heavy breathing that brings oxygen into the bloodstream and provides oxygen to the muscles so that they can burn more energy. Now that is what allows you to gain greater endurance, as opposed to anaerobic exercise that gives you strength. But what we do is we actually do both. We can improve our strength by engaging in an anaerobic regime of training, but then we don't stop. We just tone down the intensity. And we can do this on the fly because we don't have to put down any weights. We don't have to get off the machine and tweak it so that we would change the level of intensity. We do it on the fly because we're providing self-resistance. And when we do this, something remarkable happens. You will transition gradually from the anaerobic regime to the aerobic regime of training. In other words, you will get both benefits of strength and endurance. And something else really cool happens as a result of doing this type of training. And of course, I just showed you two very simple ways of working with holding this imaginary ball and moving the head around. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of different ways of training all the muscles throughout the body. And I will be walking you through those regimens of training in our weekly sessions. But I want to mention to you that when you engage in this type of exercises, you will also move through a full range of motion. Why would you want to do that? Because that will actually improve your mobility and increase your flexibility, as opposed to losing flexibility after working out, which is what most gym rats experience when they lift weights. So instead of losing mobility and flexibility, you actually will gain it. At the same time, you're also gaining greater strength and endurance. Now, not too bad. for just one simple method of training. And that's not all. You will also learn how to relax after the workout. That's right. I will teach you not only how to tense up, that's the easy part. You will also learn how to relax after working out so that you don't feel sore and stiff and tense after the workout, which means your blood and lymph will circulate freely. And where there is greater relaxation, the energy also flows freely through those parts of the body that perhaps in the past were blocked. If you have any undue tension in the body, and who doesn't have undue tension in their bodies, right? You probably experience some degree of energy blockages. And energy blockages, by and large, are the main causes of health issues most people experience. So, in order to resolve the root causes of health issues, we need to address the blockages that we created in our own bodies. Nobody does it to us. If we do this to ourselves, then we should be able to also undo. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you in the course of this program as well. You will learn how to undo the unnecessary tension. And when you learn how to experience greater relaxation, what's going to happen to your energy? It's going to move more freely through your entire organism, empowering each and every cell of your body and allowing you to enjoy greater vitality and vibrant health. I hope you don't mind experiencing all of these benefits as a result of simple exercises that I'm going to present to you over the course of the next 3 months. Of course, I don't expect you to just work out once a week when we're going to have our session. Once a week for an hour, what are you going to do for the rest of the week? 6 days and 23 hours. I hope you do some workout on your own as well. And I'm going to keep you accountable to it. And we're actually going to develop a game plan for doing these types of workouts on a daily basis. Because you are not going to feel sore and stiff after working out, you will be able to do this daily, as opposed to those people who lift weights and then they feel decrepit the following day or two and they have to give themselves a break. You will be able to engage in this kind of exercises on a daily basis. As a matter of fact, I will help you develop a routine of practice that you will be able to do more than once a day. What's going to do for you? Well, if you do harmonious strength training and practice harmonious culture and movement several times a day, it literally will start bleeding into your daily life. It will start affecting how harmonious you feel in your daily life. I hope you don't mind experiencing greater harmony in your daily life as a result of this training. In order to enjoy the benefits of this practice and to tap into the energy resources that were known to the Shambhala warriors and Shaolin monks, but are virtually unavailable or even unknown to most people living a modern lifestyle, you simply need to enroll in our program. Link to the program is available below this video, or you can go to shambhalacoaching.com, and enroll in our program today. I look forward to working with you. And as a bonus for enrolling in our program now, I'm going to give you a special bonus. This bonus is something that is worth just as much as this program itself. It's 3 additional online courses that I created specifically for the folks engaging in our trainings. One of them is called Abundance Through Being in Flow. I got interviewed for 4 hours by a colleague of mine, Chris Andrew, who is also a Qigong and Tai Chi teacher in Northern California, on the subject of abundance. How to experience abundance, not by working hard, but actually by working smart. How to learn how to tap into the sense of flow and develop the ability to be in the flow at will. And when you are in the flow, things just come your way, naturally and spontaneously. And that's exactly what I want you to learn for yourself. Simply by taking this harmonious strength training course, you will also get access to the Abundance Through Being in the Flow online course at no extra charge. Normally it's $297, but it will be available to you at no charge at all. Another thing that I'm also going to offer to you is another online course that's called Qigong Fundamentals. And what is that going to do for you? Well, it'll actually help you discover for yourself some of the fundamental principles of energy arts that most Qigong practitioners and even teachers don't know about. Or if they know about them, they kind of glaze over because they think that this is so basic, everybody just assumes that they know it already, but they don't apply. And that is the problem, because if there is no solid foundation under the practice of energy arts, the whole structure is not going to hold up. In other words, often people end up missing out on the most fundamental principles of these arts when they engage in various studies of different forms and styles. So I'm not going to indoctrinate you into the Qidao, which is my family lineage. I'm going to share with you the principles that underlie all the forms and practices of Qigong that I know of. It also will help you become more proficient in other arts, whether it's healing arts or, let's say, martial arts. It also will enable you to become more centered, and I hope you don't mind being more centered. Now, most people don't understand what being centered even means. It's not about being self-centered. It's about becoming aware of the true center of your being, connecting with that center, giving it as much attention as you can. And what's going to happen then? Where attention goes, energy flows. You empower your center. You actually bring your awareness to the center of your being, and then whatever life throws your way, you will learn how to delegate the issues coming at you to your center instead of taking them personally. And what do you think is going to happen? You're going to learn how to stop being stressed. Quite literally, you nip stress in the bud, because you no longer take things personally that happen to you. You realize that there is much greater power that you can delegate these issues to than your personal power that you identify with. And when you become more centered, you simply learn how to relax under pressure instead of tensing up under pressure. Learning how to relax under pressure obviously is like a dream come true for most people living a modern lifestyle. But that's not all. I'm also going to offer you another online course that's also worth $200. And it's called Manifesting Coaching Course. It literally will teach you how to manifest things that you would like to experience in your life without struggle, without working hard. You actually learn how to identify very precise key points in your life strategy, and then identify the least amount of effort that needs to be applied to those key points so that they would unlock the doors for you that previously seemed to be closed. And of course, as you develop ability to manifest things, you will be able to enjoy higher quality of life. And I hope that you will enjoy it not only for your own benefit, but also for the benefit of other people in your life, in your family, in our community, and worldwide. This is something that I would inspire you to share with other people. Don't just keep it to yourself. Of course, everybody wants to learn how to be better off, but let's not be selfish. We will learn how to actually share the fruits of our own labor and our own learning with other people, and help them manifest and live their dreams as well. And guess what? Just like I wrote in my first book, The Art of Being in the Flow, the more people you help manifest and live their dreams, the more people help you manifest and live your dreams. So instead of you trying to manifest and live your dreams all by yourself, you will be able to engage other people around you in your community and your circle of influence, so to speak, so that they would help you manifest and live your dreams with a higher quality of life as you help them achieve the same. Now, this is what we also refer to as the path of Bodhisattva, or the person who helps others achieve self-realization and enlightenment. And this is something that I'm committed to, and I would like you to experience it as well. Once again, I invite you to go to shambhalacoaching.com and enroll in our program today. I will provide you all of these additional materials and walk you by the hand to make sure that you benefit from our program fully. And on the off chance that you find out that you don't resonate with this training, or you don't benefit as much as you wanted to in the first 30 days of our program, I will give you your money back. That's right. I don't want your money if you don't feel like you're benefiting. I only do this for the purpose of creating greater harmony and enlightenment in our world. I'm not going to take money from somebody who feels like they're not really getting any benefit from working with me. So this is my invitation for you. Please go to shambhalacoaching.com, enroll in our program now, and discover for yourself how well you can benefit from it. I look forward to working with you and traveling this journey together. Namaste.